All right, once that's all dry, we're going to go ahead and place our flowers on our painting. Now, as you can see in the drawing here, I've created a little line that represents the ground where we're going to work from. And if I am given something where I need to draw in a straight line, inevitably it will go in a direction that is not straight. So I'm going to use a little piece of the paper that I trimmed off from my cardstock earlier to give myself a straight line for which I can use as a guide. So I'm going to put that over my painting where I want that bottom line to be, and I'm going to go back and take some of my washi tape, and this is like Japanese masking tape that you can attach to paper that removes easily but keeps everything nice and secure for me while I'm working. Now I'm going to pull my Micron number 5 in order to do this work. And essentially I'm going to follow my straight edge, and I'm just going to create a little terrain. This is nothing special, nothing fancy. It's just creating the illusion of ground, okay? Something in order to anchor our flowers on. Okay, so now I get to go in and actually add in my flowers. So choose where you want to start. I think I'm going to start here with this guy. Give it a stem, go in, and start creating your flowers. Petals, shapes. Remember, everything is right here. It's the most wonderful garden ever because it's one that you're creating, and it's all right and it's all good. Okay, look, first flower in. Awesome. Okay, I love these little guys, these little short filler flowers, because they're fast and I like the way that they cross. So I'm going to pop these in just like this. I'm going to have this flower kind of coming up from it. This is going to be my little V, then comes down to a point. V, comes down to a point. V, comes down to a point. Okay. And think about your composition. What do you want represented here that we don't see yet? You can add birds to this. You can also do something along the lines of a butterfly or a dragonfly, whatever speaks to you. Okay, so this one's going to have some long leaves to it. And simply put in whatever you want. If you have a particular flower that you just love, add that in. We want to see your personality in your garden. If you're sending this to a friend and they have a flower that they dearly love, then maybe you want to put that in as well. Maybe you don't, and that is okay. All right, that looks pretty good. Okay, so let's put in this big leafy one. I really like this guy. Right, so he's just little leaves that are going to match each other on either side. And they get a little bit bigger as they go towards the middle in length. And then as you get back near the top, they're going to get a little bit smaller again. This is also such a calming exercise to do, and it would make a really fun art journaling video. Art journaling exercise to do. Let's do this big, long, pretty one. Put in some leaves. We have just started seeing our very first hummingbirds in our garden, and I'm so excited. I just love a hummingbird. They bring me joy. They make me happy, and I'm lucky because I have a neighbor who loves them too. And so we get to talk about our hummingbirds, and we get to talk about the kind of mixtures that we're putting in our bird feeders and making sure that all of our hummingbirds are so happy. Because happy hummingbirds will come back to the same feeder year after year. Okay, good. Now look at your composition and see if there's anything else you want to add. There's one thing I would like to do, and that's add a little bit of height over here. So I'm going to pop in that dandelion. I think I'm going to do it right here. Okay, so I'm going to start with a little ball, and then I'm going to do my starbursts out from it. Long and short, random, doesn't have to be perfect. Then put my little V's on the end. Okay. And then I'm going to create a couple of spores or seeds that are flying off in the wind. Give it some movement. All right. All right, the next thing that we're going to do is put in our hand lettering, and I chose the word friends here so that I can send this to someone that I adore and that I call friend. So you're simply going to move to the outer third or the right third and write out the word friends. Give your letters some spacing. And then in order to give it some dimension and to give it that hand-lettered look, we are simply going to give your downstrokes a little bit of dimension. So make whatever your downstrokes are a little bit thicker. And I just go in, if I'm using a small tipped pen like this, and I just draw a line and come out and meet it. Just like that. Just to give it a little bit of extra dimension. Looks so cool. Anywhere that your pen would naturally go down is a downstroke. Just want to give it a little bit of extra ink. Perfect. And I am a heart person, so a heart will go in. You do what you'd like to do, but for me, that looks good. Okay, this is finished. What we're going to do now, and you can take this and you can frame this, you can send it just like it is. You can even flip it over, you can write a little note on the back, you can pop it in an envelope and send it as is. We're going to go ahead and turn this into a proper note card. So the first thing that we're going to do is take our yellow cardstock and we're going to match that up to our watercolor and make sure that that is glued down. So I'm going to use my roller adhesive. You can use regular glue if you'd like. You can even use double-sided tape if you would like. So just run that across. Now one thing on watercolor paper is that you want to try to get your adhesive as close to the edge as you can to avoid the little pops from it warping from some of the water. And if you put your paper that you're gluing down at a little bit of an angle and just eyeball how matched up it is here, you can go ahead and put the adhesive down on this side, and then it will allow you to make sure that you're even. Okay, so lightly press it down here, and then I always recommend turn it so that your artwork is face down, and then run over it with your hands, or you can do it with a hard edge like with the side of your pen to make sure that you're not completely taking all of your work and just smudging it across the paper. All right, so we're going to put this, glue it down to our cardstock, our pink cardstock. This is a regular cardstock weight. It's not a heavy weight. So I'm going to easily fold this in half. And I also recommend taking the edge of a pen or something of that nature and just giving it a nice sharp edge so that it lays nice and flat. Then we're going to glue this down. And I'm going to use my tape runner to do that. Okay, again, line it up here so that you can kind of eyeball before you start to press down. Okay, then lay it down gently, flip it over, and really give it a good rub on the back. Now you might be wondering, what is that other piece of white cardstock for that we cut earlier? Well, what I like to do with my cards is, this is a regular piece of cardstock, so it's going to be a little bit more sturdy than a regular piece of paper, but once we put all this beautiful work on the front, this side is heavier now than the back side. This is going to feel a little bit flimsy when you send this to someone. So we are going to take this white panel and we are going to attach it right here inside the note card. That's going to give it some stability. It's going to give you a beautiful place that you can put a sentiment and write a little note, and that is going to give it a more professional, polished, finished look. So simply take that panel and glue it in or tape it in, and it's going to give it that nice polished look. All finished. And one of my cards is never complete without a little kiss on the back. And so I'll just come in and I'll write an XOXO right on the back. And you know that that is handmade with love from Shannon. So we are done, friends. Look at what you did today. Gorgeous watercolor pen drawing of your flowers, mix of colors, and you made a note card that you can send to somebody that you really, really like. So pop in the comments, who are you going to send this to? And I'd also love to see your work. So make sure that you tag us at FV, as in Fuquay Varina Arts, and FV Arts Create at Home. Thank you so much for joining us today. I hope you've enjoyed this project. I have enjoyed having you with us, and I look forward to seeing you at the next project. Bye!